Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Guile here, and welcome to another Supreme Commander Epic. That's right, it's time for some epicosity, because of all the casts we bring, these ones seem to fly off the shelf the most profusely, quickly, with the most vigor, something like that. Yeah, pick your adjective of choice right there. I want to say a quick thank you as well to all of the pros who've answered the charge. For those of you who don't check the forums regularly, which is about 99.999% of the community, put a post up there because I'm asking for assistance from pros to come and teach me how to actually play this thing, mainly because it will help with the casts. I'll have a better understanding of the mechanics of the game. I've got a little bit of time now on my hands, and also it's nice to have something positive to think about so I don't go insane stuck in quarantine. But yeah, there we go. So we're going to learn something, and huge props to those of you who've come forward. We've got a bunch of different pros who've said they were interested. About 7 or 8 so far. I don't think they quite realise what they're getting into. They're going to need the patience of a saint. I'm heavily dyslexic, badly tunnel visioned, and incredibly impatient. They're going to need unlimited patience. Patience of a primary school teacher at a special needs school. That's the sort of level of patience we're talking they are going to need. But they don't know that because I didn't put that in the forum post. So it's going to be an unpleasant surprise for all of them. But I'm going to be starting. I think System Failure's got a whole lesson plan drawn up for me already, and even if I'm aware of it, we're going to start relatively like noobish level. Even if I know what he's talking about, we're going to run through things anyway, because I think it might be useful for more of the newer comers to the channel who want to get involved, of which I know there are many, but some lack the confidence, because it is quite scary, especially when you're joining a community that's been going for such a long time. It can seem very daunting to try and break your way into it, so maybe we can deal with some of that. Anyway, that's a huge quantity of waffle. Let's get on with today's game. As we said, it's going to be an epic. It's going to be custom 77. It's going to be pro level, and the action today is going to take place on, I can't even pronounce it, adaptive Stogesgrad. I don't know. You guys have a look at the little name in the thing and the thing. Tell me what you think. I'm ready. You guys are ready, and the players are ready. So let's get on with the game zone and see how they're going. And get on, check, ka-chang! Super duper. We'll call this team 1 up here at the top. This team 2 down here at the bottom. Going for Team 1, first of all, up here, I guess the northern side of this huge spinal ridge that runs down between the two sides. If you discover any map-related bugs, please tell the author. Who is the author? We don't know. How are you supposed to know? They need to put that little name there on the side. Anyway, in Regal Purple, going Cybran, bless him, misclicked. It's Mimics, and he's opening first land. Team member number 2 for Team 1 in Baby Pink, another Cybran over here. It's Narnerd Power, also going first land. Over out to the far left flank as we approach the front row. We've got Meow, he's going UEF, opening first land in Mellow Yellow. Back towards the middle in Spetsnaz Green, we've got Seal Force, he's going Aeon, opening first land. Team member number 4 down here. No, more than that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, excuse me. Didn't want to go for Raymond and make my life easy. It's Ray Morend in Halliborange Orange, our first FIM of the day, going first land. Team member number 6 in Burgundy Red, another Cybran. He's running away from a little old woman, a little old man, a farmer in a field. It is the Gingerbread Man, and he is going first land, straight onto the Hydro there after that. And last but not least, on Baby Blue, right at the back, it's Stefan D, another Cybran going first land, second air. So what have we got there for Team 1? That looked like 4 Cybran, an Aeon, a UEF, and a FIM. I'm going to slow things up. We're already getting some kind of action. Whoa! What's going on here? Early Spirit locking in on that engineer, but we will slow it up, as we said, a little bit more and do the call outs for Team 2. We'll start on this side of things. We've got Jabka, and here he is going UEF, going first land, second air in Ferrari Red. Team member number 2 for Team 2, Eco Noob and Elephantine Grey, another UEF, very sensible, going first land, second land as well. Pontiff White already harassing his opponent on the other side of the map there. It's Death Squad going Aeon, opening first and second land. Across the way in Lurid Green, it's Trith And he's going, UEF going first at second land. So UES on team 2, liking what I'm seeing here. Montana next up in Cyanide Cyan. And he's going first land, second air. Down here in horrible Aeon Green, it's Emperor Penguin going first land, going Aeon, going second air. And last but not least, in fabulous Vivacious Violet, it's Little Sid Lil, or Sid, and he is going first land and went for an early rover drone upgrade. Would you look at that? Super early, get that early build capacity going on. So for team 2, we've got 4 UEF and 3 Aeon actually, so not much of variation, just 2 races present for them. Game quality's at 72%, which is shockingly awful. That's about as balanced as the Anglo-Zanzibar War circa 1896, which incidentally was the shortest war in history, lasting no more than 45 minutes. There you go, you learn a little something here at Guilecast, a little bit of pointless information. Let's see if this game of SOPCON lasts longer than that entire war in real life actually did. Quite possible that it does, being as it's an epic. Anyway, the first little engagement we saw kicking off over here did end. Doesn't look like that scout managed to claim any scalps. No surprises there with their paltry DPS that they put out. I'm not exactly sure what the DPS is on the Spirit, but certainly on the Snoop UEF equivalent, it's a whopping 2 DPS, which is, well, you'd be lucky to score a kill on anything with that. Shave a little bit of local pest control in the flora and or fauna. Air scouts out across the map as both teams try to get a read on what's going on up and down the map. We've got a little mole and a mantis station down here out on the right flank for Gingerbread Man. Engineer caught out by a Tham there. Montana loses that NG and is about to lose that Mex that was never actually completed. And there's a vulnerable NG over here that's just completed the Hydro. Montana's pulled his comm out to deal with that. And deal with that he shall. He should manage to hold on to the Hydro and the Aurora, it would seem. Kicking off all over. We didn't say anything about this strange formation in the middle, this rocky plateau with odd condensing laws of meteorological physics going on, but it looks nonetheless like Mimics is going to pick that up early, dropping off 2 NGs in there and getting straight in on what is a valuable prize, a T3 Aeon reactor wreck ready to be reclaimed. Pretty good going there, but check this out. Meow and Death Squad going toe-to-toe, comm on comm up here, and Death Squad's taken a solid battering in that exchange. He's down into the yellow, almost sub 60% health, I think 6,500 hit points there, versus Meow's 10,100. Let's have a look if we can garner who got better amounts of reclaim though. Death Squad picked up 1k, Meow picked up 500, so he was busy scooping the wrecks and Meow was essentially just wailing away. 4.5 minutes gone though, and he's already yielded a lot of his own HP. In comes the T1 bomber now from Nerd Power, going after the Auroras up the back after they've scored a kill on that T1 Mex and nearby Engineer. Cheeky little run-by attempt into the backfield as well while all this is going on from Death Squad. Bomber still focusing on Auroras, gets right on top of that one but doesn't manage to kill it. But Death Squad taking a battering now from Meow's comm as he's still focusing in on these strikers and other T1 units. He's got some assistance coming in now from his own backfield, but he dips into the red, and what on earth? He suddenly lost 2,600. Was that a control K? And he managed to take out Meow in the ensuing explosion. Either way, both comms go down on that far left. And there you go. So no victory for either team. Nerd Power is in great place, though, to scoop up the remnants of his teammates' base and start pushing down on that left flank. swooping in with T1 spam, but no build capacity right now is Eco Noob. He can do a lot worse than to get his comm over there, but I'm guessing he's worried about this Seal Force coming in through the middle on the ground right now as we speak, past that main plateau. Jabka's got his comm nearby. He's marching that in to try and contend with this spam that's focusing in on one of Eco Noob's mexes. Down that goes. Not much he can do about that. Major T1 incursion meanwhile going down on the right flank from Raymorend, pushing in on Montana, who's currently anchored to the spot. 32% done on a T2 upgrade in his base right there. He's lost his hydro. He's going to lose that forward land factory that's currently paused as is, and might well lose this mechs up here as well. 60% done and climbing on that T2 upgrade back to the middle. Let's see what's going on with Jabka and Seal Force. They're exchanging blows now with their comm. Gingerbread Man nearby as well, also taking some long-range fire from Trith's PD down here. He's gone straight for the T2 engineering suite and is putting down T2 point defense, laying down some crossfire, trying to keep the middle of the map clear as possible. Jabka moving backwards though. Eco Noob looking vulnerable though as Gingerbread Man syncs up with Seal Force's T1 spam as is bearing down on his forward position over there. Let's take a look in back on the base over here. Montana did manage to finish that upgrade, but look at the state of his comm. 2,000 hit points and on fire and retreating as he tries to keep himself in this game. Raymorend taking the opportunity to pounce and absolutely dismantling his base, 3 or 4 buildings at a time. Montana actually put in chat that he's dead, but no, looks like he might have survived, albeit at least for the moment. He's going to throw down some point defense back here, and I'm guess trying to creep his way back into the main base and re-establish himself. Majorly leaky flank though for Team 2 right now. The push is coming in around the back from some of Gingerbread Man's units. Raymorend continues to smash down what's left of Montana's base. This is going to be a long way back for Montana on this side of things, assuming he's not bowing out right here and now. I think that's unlikely, being as he's getting some solid banks of T2 point defense up. Back in up on the other side of the map. Eco Noob's shifted left slightly with his comm, throwing down triads as quickly as possible. Seal Force a little bit further than he was a moment ago. I'm guessing he's probably going to drop back now that we're getting some point defense fire coming in from the west. Jabka also preventing any forward motion from these guys any deeper into Team 2's territory. We said that this was an unbalanced game, 72%. I bet you at first glance you probably think that that's in favor of Team 1 the way this is going. It's actually not. This heavy imbalance is favoring Team 2 right here. If you look at the global rankings, Team 2 on the average is at 1700 versus 1571. So far, early game, I know, and it is very early. We are sub 10 minutes still. Bucking the trend of where you might have expected to be if you've been trying to call this game purely on the basis of global rankings. Now, solid push out in the western approach from Eco Noob, trying to take back some of the ground he's lost to Nerd Power, who's about to complete his own upgrade to T2. There it goes, and he's going to go straight away and throw down a T2 power plant. Now he's got a little bit of an exclusion zone. Montana back down here at the bottom right, put up by his point defense turrets back here. He's got 4 of them online. That's a lot of firepower, but he's not too healthy on the comm. Emperor Penguin's taken a few hits as well, but Raymorend's also down to around 7,500 HP, so he's taken a bit of a kicking. But check this out, utilizing that little back pass at the backfield there to sneak in a whole bunch of units. There's a very vulnerable looking base up here. Of course, the commander, Emperor Penguin, is out front assisting Montana, so all of these units could potentially forge their way into this base and start causing problems, but he's hip to the danger. Engineers immediately start work on some T1 PDs. What have we got here in terms of unit comp? We do have decent amounts of Zuis, but Emperor Penguin is pulling his comm now back towards base to secure that leaky front, and I think they'll be able to sort this out before anything sensitive gets destroyed. Little Sid's also coming out with his comm. There's no way this little attack is going to cause any damage. Is it going to precipitate more pressure going forward up here? I don't think so. The nano repair upgrade isn't finished from Raymerend, but it's about to complete, and that will give him a serious chunk of HP and a lot of regenerative power. 76 hit points a second, flying back in onto that com, but another new Oblivion turret, this time a little bit further forward, has taken some damage, I'm guessing from these Zooies up here, but that is gonna give him a little bit more leeway unless those shells, just one shell, just extended a little bit further, and Montana loses that PD. A new Oblivion point defense turret going down, desperate to reclaim his base and the 4 core mexes so he can get back into this game. Checking back in on the middle though, look what's been going on up here. Tith is pushing up in around the back of Raymerend's base. Could he be about to push in with a point defense creep into the main base down here? We have got an operational T2 land HQ, so we're up to the next level in tech. Raymerend may be forced to bring his comm back to help prevent that. Attack missiles inbound, but we've got tactical missile defense operational down there, and yeah, here we go with the point defense creep. Tith slowly building, but not getting there as fast as he would like, and now we've got Vipers coming in from the north from Gingerbread Man. He's going to have to abandon that, I think. Never going to get it functional. He's about to lose the one behind him as well, and if he loses too many, his comm might be in jeopardy. Look at what's been built up though on that plateau of condensed. What's the name of that plateau that's like cut off from all reality down to South America? There's a plateau. It's a little bit like that that crevice in Arachnophobia where you get whole species of animals that exist nowhere else because evolution's been operating independently. Anyway, that's what it's like right there. Very foggy and misty, high up, with waterfalls presumably raging down the side of it. Answer in the comment section if you can be bothered to Google that, or if you already know it, I bow to your superior knowledge. Get featured on a David Attenborough show once. Gun and speed upgrade, 70% done there for Seal Force. It's got a little bit of T2 hanging around, got some asylums to protect the comm. Had wall sections go up over on the west flank for Eco Noob, and a whole bunch of T1 sitting in between the two gaps of that. His opponent with a lot of T1 up here as well. Spy plane out for Stefan D, so he's hit T3 air. Where are we at for air elsewhere on the field? We're at T3 air as well for Lil Sid on Team 2. And we're working to T3 air for Jabka. It's about 45% done there on that upgrade. So Little Sid's actually been donated a couple, in fact, half the mexes down here for Montana. I guess he feels he's out of it. He's kept a little bit of eco for himself to get re-established, but he's given the rest over to Lil Sid for a little extra boost, hoping that the guy who's a little bit more functional in this is going to be able to contribute and keep everyone on their toes and off his back while he gets re-established. And that's a pretty sensible way to go. A little bit of mongoose pressure out the front from Eco Noob. Gatling box with their rocket barrages, utilizing that range advantage against that pile of Mantis. It's a thing of beauty right there. Actually never used to like the mongoose when I used to play, which I will be playing again soon, but I'm kind of in love with it these days. Just gotta, it's not like the pillow, you can just send it in en masse and forget. It's all about the micro. You see, this is what happens when you don't micro. You get overwhelmed, you lose that ranged advantage. Go Noob's attention obviously elsewhere, which is fair enough. It's a busy game. I don't know how I'm going to cope when I start playing it. I really don't. Strap bombers out and about, getting shot down by swift winds. Yes, they are. Emperor Penguin killing off a threat there. The swift winds will get shot down by ASFs, but there are a few ASFs from each side tangling with one another. Scratch that. Those ASFs are both on Team 1 from Mimics and Stefan D. then there was just a little bit of a lull in activity. Goodness me, that was pretty solid. Let's take stock of eco, because we haven't had a chance to do that once in the opening to this game. So total, it's 484 to 484 there. It doesn't get much closer than that. Power generator on the way for Montana. So in terms of eco, these guys absolutely neck and neck. They've each got a crater each down here. It's sort of a crater. It's a plateau and a crater, which is quite nice because it's up above and it's shielded. Although you could probably get T3 mobile artillery in there to launch shells and land that, I would imagine, without too much difficulty. But you're afforded some protection. And there's 4 mexes in there, so each team with a crater each. Plateau, of course, in the hands of Team 1, and now we're getting Gunthers going up. That's going to create an enormous exclusion zone. See the range on those bad boys. That's all of the forward base sections of Jabka's base and the entirety of Trith's base there in range, and you can see those suckers already opening up. Oof. Trith working on shielding, recognizing the threat, obviously taking a couple of hits already. Oh, and the elevation from that plateau means he can sneak it in over the top of the shield and still hit that back factory. How incredibly irritating that must be. That one does impact on the shield. In it goes. Just goes a little long. There's a bit of a breach coming from Seal Force as well. Jabka's essentially relinquished control of this forward section. Looks like he's establishing a new line back here. Engineers rolling out to throw up T1 PDs. Gunther in up here, so good use of artillery from Team 1, firing out of the crater. We've got some T3 mobile under here. I'm wondering if Eco Noob wants to try and hit back at this while it's unshielded. Indeed, he is firing back a little bit, although that's a TAC missile. Bosh! Engineers down. Gunther stands alone, as he often does, attending that coffee machine in Central Perk, pining for a little bit of a tangent there. We won't fulfill that. Only own them all on DVD because the wife likes them. Sure. Good triad constructed up front for Eco Noob. This crater is not going to fare well against this shielded base up here unless he gets more assistance from Seal Force. Seal Force with a solid number of sniper bots though, pushing down on that forward base. T2 radar just begging for a sniper bot. Zolver's casually firing at one particular patch of ground. "20 minutes gone, and doesn't it feel like absurd amounts of action has taken place already? I gotta say, I quite like this map. Certainly seems to be encouraging conflict, which is always exciting from a casting perspective. I'm not actually sure. I've been given a few replays, and I got one from Chosen. And Chosen, if you're watching, buddy, was this your map or was this somebody else's? Apologies for not making a better note of that. Sometimes it's hard to keep track. Eco Noob doing his best to encourage Seal Force to desist. And now pressure coming up from the southeast from Trith, bearing down on Seal Force's comm. The Asylums have gone down, but Seal Force has got a pretty solid comm right there with the personal shield and double gun. He moves in another Asylum, but that goes down pretty quickly. And in comes a couple of broadswords from Jabka. In fact, more than that, 4 broadswords. Air Force from Team 1 scrambles, but it's going to be too late. Seal Force overextended and picked off with a combination of air and ground from Team 2. That's very interesting. Eco Noob now winning the ground base game against the Crater. Well established up front with a pretty solid fire base. And now pressure relieved from the center from Team 1, who go a man down in this one. It's now a 6v5 in favor of Team 2. Oh, Montana, though, getting beat down here from that trebuchet. That was an inordinately large explosion. It's hit the pile of fireworks Montana was saving for their victory. It's what happens when you get such a stacked game. A little bit of overconfidence. Shouldn't invest in fireworks till it's a dead certain victory. Trith not faring brilliantly right now up front against this long-range weaponry on the plateau. Mimics in a seriously strong position. That's actually a lovely little hideout up there. I'm wondering if it really affects you as well much. It doesn't really. It doesn't affect your visibility in any way. You get line of sight and the radar signatures. You have all the information you need. Look at that. Solid number of demolishers from Eco Noob. A couple of trebuchets turn up, but they're gonna get munched. The Crater is all but dead. In fact, Eco Noob has managed to get set up in there. He doesn't manage to keep the land factory. That gets picked off by a Corsair from Nerd Power. He says no thank you. But the Crater base has definitely switched hands. Territory. What's going on from Little Sid back here? A little quiet. Well, he's working on a nuke. That might open this game up a tad, and he's concerned about cheeky cyber and tele-snipe business, so he's getting his NGs to build a bank of T1 PD where he wants to keep his comm. Broadswords that we just saw help take out Seal Force, now on the move against Nerd Power. Fighter screen from Little Sid goes in first, tangles with Mimics and with Stefan D. And those broadswords locking straight onto Nerd Power. He's only got 12,000 HP at full health, and those broadswords are seriously chunky beasts. Look at the hit points evaporate. Nerd Power picked off at 23 minutes. Down he goes, and it's now a 4v6. After such a promising start, it did seem like it was going to be tough for Team 1, yielding quite so many global ranking points as they do. But that's a massive power vacuum down here. And what have we got going on here? Emperor Penguin moving his commander about. Not sure exactly what. Was he tooled up to go in on the ground for a bit of Rambo-com action? Quite possibly. Montana, this is the saving grace for Team 1. Montana, that right flank still utterly crumbling, and he's had to drop back yet again to build another bank of Oblivion turrets, this time on the bottom section. His earliest stuff still up and running north of him, his position there, so he's confident about holding that, although those sniper bots can outrange those Oblivion turrets. I'm pretty confident of that. 4 more Oblivion turrets going up there. Engineers from Emperor Penguin working on some T1. That's good. They want a mix of turrets if possible, and even some wall sections to slow up the progress, although he's going to be a little bit slow on getting those up. The spam's going to reach him and take out those NGs. Back up to the middle. We've got Crossfire coming in on that main base from Mimics, which has been such a pain there for Trith. That's being taken out, and Montana has got the EM field, which is destabilizing all of these units and temporarily knocking them out. That's going to do no end of damage to this assault. However, there's bricks coming in behind now from Gingerbread Man. Solid pressure coming down the right side of the map from Team 1, so Montana's still forced to back up. He's not going to be able to keep this new position of Oblivion turrets. That is gone, as is the position up here as well. So major collapse on the right. They're still trying to throw up some kind of barrier, some kind of impediment on this never-ending force coming in from the east, but those T1 PDs aren't going to do it anymore with bricks kicking about up here. Montana and Penguin going to have to drop right back over here. We do have solid bank of point defense there at the entrance to Little Sid's base, so if they have to go somewhere, that will be the ultimate hiding place. However, that would potentially mean leaving and losing Emperor Penguin's main base and all of the energy and mass that that's supplying right now. A little bit of relief coming in from the skies. Those awesome broadswords now responsible for 2 ACU kills coming in from Jabka, going to work on the forward T2 spam of Gingerbread first of all. Any more ground to air firepower, mobile, flak coming in. We do have one bouncer back here, T3, so those broadswords will want to give that a wide berth. They've got to try and stop these bricks that are now focusing down Montana. He's on 7,000 hit points there. New Oblivion turrets back here. Whoa, my goodness. I don't even know what killed him there. He's killed, apparently, it must have been the sniper bots back here. They got into range, killed by Raymorend under shield coverage. And that's an amazing emergency pickup for a team that desperately needed a kill right there. There's still one player behind, but if they can neuter Emperor Penguin and take this base out with this attack, which it looks like it's well within their power to do right now because they don't have much on the ground, Team 2, to defend. Little Sid building emergency power storage reserves back here in case he's got to go all overcharge comm. But it's not going to be anything that's going to save this base, I don't think. Brick's marching in on that position now. Volatility will take out everything in a chain reaction, and there it goes. Just the T3 core mexes to go, and Emperor Penguin will be little more than an observer after losing that position. But what about that from Raymorend? Sniper bots under shield coverage back here. So clinical, couldn't even tell what killed Montana at first. Broadswords brought in once again, kill the flak. Priority number 1. There's quite a lot of flak though. Seraphim and Cybrin, they're microing well to try and avoid it as best they can. Will Lil Sid even be able to stem this tide? I think they will. Look at these clink hammers as well, surely. The artillery, the shielding, the point defense, surely Lil Sid's done enough. Plus these broadswords from Jabka. What's going on elsewhere? Well, Trith's still holding it together, working on a fatty. Where is the experimentals that we saw? So we've got 2 Monkey Lords operational from Mimics, and he's been fighting off some Percival pressure. We've done no observational work at all on this western flank. Eco Noob's been doing great work swooping in and picking up the base that's vacated from who was it went down up there? Narnerd Power, that was it. So a bit of a wheeling effect, but this will all come to a grinding halt now from these bricks and these monkey lords that are just steaming in through Eco Noob's forward position. That's all going to get nicely roasted. Goodbye. Cybrin muscle marching through right there. Next position, shield coverage up front, but not a huge quantity of point defense. Got Percival's coming in from the background there. Checking back in with the bottom right. T2 upgrade on the way for Emperor Penguin. Eco Noob's actually pushed forward around the other side of the crater. Crater that's now, incidentally, in Lil Sid's hands. Working purely on static emplacements and resourcing options in there. This broadsword air wing has been doing phenomenal work from Jabka. And Fat Boy completes, raining fire down on one poor solitary brick, who is literally crying for mummy on his way home. I don't know if he's going to get there, to be honest. Oh, it's a nice engage from Lil Sid, getting in behind the ASFs there of Mimics. Manages to rescue the rest of his units. T2 Mexes have been popping up all over the place down here on Raymaren's push through the southeast. They're getting taken down now from these broadswords. Let's check back in on Eco. Team 2, though, down here, well ahead. 1.3k to 1k on Team 1. Team 1, that's a massive, massive deficit. 300 mass behind, 300 and something. We don't know exactly what. And 150,000 mass behind in total over the course of the game. But this could be a bit of a game changer. Combined experimentals from Gingerbread Man and Mimics. We've got a lot of Percy's stationed for Eco Noob back here, but these experimentals don't even need to go toe-to-toe. They just can get that megalith in and use its range to pound them to dust. But we are getting Fat Boy fire coming in from Trith over here, and there is the nuke out from Lil Sid. Where's it going? Looks like it's going after Raymarend. Raymarend's moving his comm out of his base. No, scratch that. It's going deeper after Gingerbread Man. Gingerbread Man's also moving his comm out. Oh, look at the gateway network he had planned. That's a shame. That's not going to happen, because it looks like that nuke's going to land. Anybody for baked Cybrin? Radiological alarm. Gingerbread Man survives, but 98% of his base does not, along with some build capacity. Was working on that pretty epic quantum gateway facility. Major air entanglements between Jabka, Mimics and Stefan D. No, not Stefan D, sorry, Lil Sid. There's Stefan D entering the fray. Meanwhile, on the ground, those two Monkey Lords still going, one very badly damaged, but the fatty that Eco Noob was working on, that gets destroyed. We do have a couple of Ravagers in there, but he feels like he needs more than that. Lovely bit of air pressure from Jabka, who's been an absolute air stalwart in this. Takes out one of the monkeys, badly damages another. Loses a couple of strats from the counterattack from Mimics. He's got his own air force in play, but his whole forward position has just been eradicated, essentially. Drift doing what he can, coming up from behind, but a Monkey Lord sneaking past the middle section, coming out of the mist at the Fat Boy. He's got a lot of shield coverage. His gun's still trained elsewhere. That's never a good position to be in for the fat boy. Can he get his guns to bear? He has done just that. The shields have collapsed though. And as soon as that happens, the money is always on the fat boy. But he strayed into Trith's massive bank of Ravagers. He's taken one volley. Each volley's costing him about 4k. Oh my god! Gingerbread Man picks off Eco Noob, corners him up against the edge of the map with the Megalith. 33 minutes. And now, finally, it's a 4v4. Massive power vacuum for Team 2 on the left flank. And immediately, Jabka recognises the threat. He's got engineers in place and is working on Ravager turrets. He needs to secure his base as best he can. And now it's Lil Sid's turn to get the broadsword action going. That will finish off that Monkey Lord. And then they need to evac as a bouncer comes in. So still one badly damaged 5-star Monkey Lord up here, and some pretty badly damaged Megalith with 36,000 HP there. Should be able to handle that. But what's this? That's another Megalith coming out of the smoke from Stefan D, keeping up relentless pressure. And in the last few minutes, with the departure of Eco Noob, Team 2 have dropped behind 900 mass to 1k now. You wonder what they did with all of that advantage, that eco advantage, when all of these experimentals have suddenly come out of the mist at them. Trith taking fire, standing right next to a reactor, doesn't want to be there, and he doesn't want to be anywhere near this either. As an Ethota turns up, he's trying to get his comm on board a transport. The transport itself is badly damaged. That gets shot down. Trith is not making it out of the lair alive. Down he goes. 34 minutes and 45 seconds. And now that's a proper lead for Team 1 from being behind all game. Team 2 nicely deal with the experimental threat down here. However, they've got a bunch of bricks coming in the front door from Stefan D. A lot of Ravagers online though. I don't fancy their chances breaking in through this. That's so much defensive firepower coming out of that shielding. Still, the ASF battle rages on this side of the map. Feels like it's been going constantly for the last 5 minutes. And the Ethota that just picked up the kill on Trith makes his way around that nice little bit of level design there, map design, affording the people in this backfield just a bit more forewarning, a little bit of extra time to get the defenses ready, and they certainly could do with it. Fat Boy up front, Sid going all out against the encroaching Ethota. It's about to stray into that triad range. We've got T3 Ravager Gatling turrets back here, opening up. The obligatory strats in from Jabka. Can he get the Ethota in range so that the Death Iron Storm can do some damage?
Launch detected.
And they've managed to kill off that Duke that was under construction. Close fire support nuke inbound from Lil Sid, as he just missed. He's missed it just slightly. Not gonna quite hit the Megalith, I don't think. He's gonna pick off a few of those ground units. There they go. Those regular ones, but the experimental will be safe. And the Ion Storm not gonna breach the shielding by the looks of things. But now we are fully into standoff time. Team 2 unable to keep up with the relentless experimental and T3 bot span coming out from Team 1, having to switch to full turtle and standoff tactics mode. And they have just had their eco chopped in half now. 656 mass per tick versus 1.25 150, 1.3, juggling between for Team 1. And this is not where you might have expected us to be at a game stacked against Team 1 as this was. But just goes to show you, global rankings really don't mean anything in the grand scheme of things. It all depends on what kind of games these guys play, how regularly. It's not a true depiction of skill. Very different to ladder, really, the ladder ranking. More Ithotas coming out down here. Lots of transports busying them round with engineers on board, preparing the next phase of expansion. Where is that being flung in from? Is that long-range artillery? It is. So we've got disruptor fire. Yes, we do. In a cage of beautifully placed. That looks like a template to me. Pre-prepared from Mimics. It's got another one going up to the left. And this is the problem. We might be in full turtle standoff mode for Team 2, but how can they contend when they're so far behind in eco? And the territory they've given up, they're not going to be able to get back. All the way over here, that's yet more mass extractors under the control of Team 1. This is going to be a massive uphill battle now for Team 2. If they can claw it back or not. A cheeky little attack missile battery there, launching in missiles against the expanding base of Sid down here. It's nearly finished a Duke. Has he already got an operational Duke? Yeah. Ouch. Oh no, that's going to go badly for Sid's fat boy down there as a bug locks onto him. Experimental gunship just wailing away. That shield's going to go down, and then that's going to be all she wrote. But that, will he get to keep his experimental bug? Soul Ripper maybe. In comes the ASFs from Jabka, but there's so many on the field now for Mimics and Stefan D. Down goes the Fatty. The Soul Ripper survives. Air dominance achieved for Team 1. Megalith taking a lot of fire from those gunships. Where's the Air Force? There it is. Stefan D rolling in now to shoot down those broadswords. Going after the strats first. Megalith's about to die, but there's still quite a few bricks in there. There's so many Ravagers, though. That might be my thumbnail for this video right there. Or something similar to it. Just not going to break through that. Not with that force. You need more experimentals, more chunkiness. 40 minutes gone. You just get the feeling you're watching a survival operation right now for Team 2. I don't know how they break out of this, how they get back into this game. Teleporter on the way for Gingerbread Man. He's already got the microwave laser. T3 engineering suite, so we've got a tele snipe on the cards. What's he going to go for? Little Sid, not currently anywhere near his bank of T1 PD he put up earlier. Probably wants to scoot back over there if you can see it. Nuke launcher complete. What was that? Raymorend? So Raymorend down here picks off Emperor Penguin, who wasn't really in the game in any major capacity. who's out front doing what he can. This is another close fire support nuke, and this one could be good. The two Ethotas are splitting, though. It doesn't have a long flight time, and they're coming back in as well. This could get both of them. Boom, baby! That's a perfectly placed nuke. That entire attacking force from Raymond gone in nuclear-induced fire. Thing of beauty. Actually realised I've still got Bloom on for this one. Apologies for that. I tend to turn it on so I can take the thumbnail pictures. Sometimes I forget to turn it off. Gingerbread Man teleports. I'm not sure exactly why he's teleporting in there. That wouldn't have been my first choice. In come the broadswords. He's taken out a shield, a T3 reactor. He hasn't managed to chain the whole thing, but down he goes. Interesting choice. Not sure what was going on there. Perhaps he was just bored. But that's, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, that's no enormous loss for Team 1. He's never properly got going again after that nuke hit him up here. And if you take a look on that, eco is still at 1.3, so it's almost like the dial hasn't moved. I'm not sure exactly what he was on before, what it was on before that tele snipe attempt, but massive TAC missile pressure. They did manage to get that Duke operational. Tell you what, he needs to deal with that battery over there, because that is killing him. Absolutely killing him. Can't expand, can't get his Dukes up and running. Can't keep them safe either. Another disruptor on the way. Looking at the, I don't know whether they're joking, but looking at the chat, Team 2 seeming really confident about how Sid's getting on, and I'm not confident for them at all. They're behind in eco, behind in the artillery race. So some nice turtle going on in here, but Montana, can Stefan D hold out and resist the temptation to get dinner? Assuming that's an in-joke. Plenty of games must be ruined as he's gone for his burger. Oh yeah, so Raymond donated everything over to Stefan D. And is marching his comm out. So yeah, 2v2 now. Only difference being this group of two has all of the money. All of the economy. So, Duke nearly complete there for Jabka. Is that his first? I think it might be. And about 2/3 done on the second Duke for Sid. Oh, lovely little TAC missile battery up here, which has got a few kills. Imagine a couple of important ones, but that's getting beaten down by this saucy little group of trebuchets that have just rolled up into range and is just, I feel like I need to, there we go, free cam. That is a very, they ripped that sound effect straight out of Terminator. after he's had all the skin burnt off and he's chasing Sarah Connor through the factory. That is blatantly where that sound effect came from. It's a good thing GPG is no longer with us. I've just precipitated a lawsuit, but look out! An experimental bomber doing the sauciest of all handbrake turns. Now inbound. Are they going to screen for it properly, or are they just going to let it get shot down? They've got major air supremacy, and look, backed up by a whole bunch of revenants. They're going to go straight after the comm. They're not going to screen at all. It's going to take massive damage. Is it even going to get a bomb off? Yes, it does. Going straight after Little Sid. The bomb impacts on the shield, takes out a bunch of them and gets shot down. Is he going to chain everything? Yes, it is. No, it's not. Still standing. Yes, it is. Secondary explosion. There it goes. Where are the strats? Did they all get shot down? He mostly got shot down, but Little Sid's base has just been torn a new one by that attack. More strats inbound, this time from Mimics. Shield doing its job there. We've got a megalith inbound through the center. Where's that Ethota? Oh, and a Soul Ripper. They're throwing that in for good measure as well. Shield's collapsed. He's suffering a power fall off. Wants to take out that Duke and the power generators next to it, but just runs out of hit points. Little Sid hanging on for dear life right now. Attack missiles still inbound. A recently donated battery belonging now to Stefan D. We've still got these ground defenses online back here. Sid's trying to reinforce them with some more shielding. I don't know if that's going to be enough. Now we've got bricks marching in to reinforce it. These broadswords are going to cause a few problems, but Stefan D and Mimics' Air Force is nearby, so it's not going to be effective for very long. Where's the fighters? There they are. Down goes the experimental, though. Down goes the shield. And of course, we've got long-range T3 disruptor fire coming in all the time. And these bricks on the ground. Just need to divert that battery. Down goes the Duke to the shield gen down here. And these defenses potentially. Sid has backed up over this way as far as he can get, and actually the brick's not moving in. What on earth? Suppose there's still a lot of triads in there. And then it'll just be Jabka who donated his Duke over to Little Sid. Ray Moran's just walked up into his teammate's base, built a couple of his own shield gens to protect him. Gone for dinner. Teleporter on the way for Sid. 20% done. Last ditch effort. But I just don't see it happening. You can afford to bump speed just a little bit. These strats are in prime position now to take him out. Scream with his own fighters first. More strats in from Stefan D. Clumped up, but they get the bombs away. Little Sid's actually cancelled his upgrade. It was never going to happen, but down he goes. Leaving just Jabka to fend off an unstoppable force. If they had any effect on the ridiculous amounts of turtle going on up here. Look at the sheer numbers of shield gens in Mimix's base. 45 shield generators in Mimix's base. I don't think I even included those ones. Maybe I got that one, I don't know. So there's been no breach, essentially, in the standoff tactics. Epic amounts of conversation going on in chat. But look at this, 4 megaliths lining up. And I never go to free cam. Usually just a spacebar hog. People are always going on me to use it more. Well, this is a scenario, I think, that deserves it. The final march, I would imagine. I mean, if he can hold this back, he deserves some kind of medal. Fat Boy starts firing out of the shield coverage. Ravengers open up, shield starting to collapse. Look at the sheer firepower coming in from those Ravagers. Strap bombs flying in overhead. And that's surely gonna get the comm kill. There he goes. Pretty solid way to end things right there. Projectiles flying out from this side of the map. So there you have it. Well, a little bit unusual, guys, but I hope you enjoyed it. As I say, there's always more to come from me in the future. Don't forget, as I say, I will be doing some kind of stream. I want to get that stream started this coming week if I can. Obviously, it will all depend on my schedule and how I can sync up with whichever pros are going to be helping me out. But yeah, it should be interesting. It'll be a live stream, and then it will be going up as kind of a video that anybody can watch later on. I'll give a little bit of forewarning on the Facebook page as to when it's going to be. Hopefully, I mean, if it's a last-minute thing, it'll be beyond my control. But I'll do my best. So if you guys want to catch it live, you can. Otherwise, we will see you next time, guys. Don't forget, if you feel so inclined, please consider supporting the Patreon now more than ever. I need your assistance. It's crazy, crazy times as it is for everybody. Obviously, I understand everybody is in a difficult situation right now. But if you can support, do please consider it. Thank you to everybody who has generously donated so far. But until next time, guys, stay well, stay home, and stay safe. This is Guile, signing out.